Hello, welcome to all of you. Our chapter is continuing open channel flow. Last lecture I have discussed introduction part, open channel and its types and their geometrical properties also discussed. So next point in this chapter, there are various types of flow in the open channel. So first one is the steady flow. Already we shall discuss in the pipe flow. There are various types of flows: steady flow, unsteady flow, uniform flow, non-uniform flow. So similar here, open channel flows are a steady flow. If the depth of flow, also discharge and mean velocity of the flow at any section does not change with respect to the time, that means there is a change in depth of flow with respect to the change in time, there is a equal to 0. There is a mathematically expressed. Similarly, there is a change in discharge, also change in time is the 0. And another property is the change in velocity with respect to change in time is equal to also 0. That means at any section there is a, after intervals of a time, doesn't change the depth of flow, doesn't change the discharge and doesn't change the velocities at that section at a certain intervals of that time. This type of flow is called as the steady flow. There the opposite to the steady flow, there the another flow is the unsteady flow. Unsteady flow, these characteristics like a change in depth with respect to change in time is not equal to the 0. That means there is a depth of flow, also discharge and velocity of the flow are change with respect to the time. This type of flow is called as the unsteady flow. These are the similar flows we have already discussed in the pipe flow. त्याच्यानंतर third one, uniform flow. Uniform flow, if the depth of flow, discharge and velocity do not change along the length of the channel. That means this depth of flow, त्याच्यानंतर तुमचे discharge of the flow and there is a velocity of the flow at every point of the channel, these are doesn't change. This type of flow is called as the uniform flow. That means there is a change in depth of flow with respect to change in distance or change in length. These are equal to 0. Also, these are the discharge, change in discharge with respect to change in length. Length means there is at every point we have check out the discharge. Discharge is a constant. Okay. आपण स्टेडी फ्लो मध्ये बघितलं, त्या एका सेक्शनला सर्टन इंटरवल्स ऑफ द टाइमला आपण डेप्थ, डिस्चार्ज, व्हेलॉसिटी चेक केली तर ते आपल्याला काय बघायला मिळत होती, कॉन्स्टंट बघायला मिळत होती. पण युनिफॉर्म फ्लोमध्ये आपण त्या चॅनलच्या कुठल्या पण पॉईंटला अलॉंग द लेंथ आपण तर ह्या कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक चेक केल्या तर त्याच्यामध्ये आपल्याला डिस्चार्ज कॉन्स्टंट भेटतं आहे, व्हेलॉसिटी कॉन्स्टंट भेटते आहे आणि डेप्थ ऑफ फ्लो कॉन्स्टंट भेटते आहे. मीन्स these characteristics, depth of flow, discharge and velocities or doesn't change with respect to the space, that means with respect to the length. This type of flow is called as the uniform flow. Another is the non-uniform flow. Non-uniform flow, same opposite to this uniform flow. These are the change in depth of flow with respect to change in space or change in length of the channel are changed. So mathematically these are not equal to the zero. Also these are the discharge with respect to the space in the channel. These are also not the constant, these are the change. Also these are the velocities also at every point in the channel is also changed. So these are not equal to the zero, these are mathematically expressed. So these main four types of the flows in open channel. These are the another type of flow is the steady uniform flow. Steady uniform flow. Steady uniform flow, when the discharge rate is constant and the section of the channel is same at all direction, the flow is called as a steady uniform flow. Steady uniform flow means त्या सेक्शनला पण आणि त्या चॅनलच्या प्रत्येक पॉईंटला पण आपल्याला डिस्चार्ज हा कॉन्स्टंट बघायला मिळतो. सो दिस टाइप ऑफ फ्लो इज कॉल्ड एज द स्टेडी युनिफॉर्म. स्टेडी फ्लो प्लस तुमचं युनिफॉर्म फ्लो तर तो स्टेडी युनिफॉर्म फ्लो.